Hey everybody, it's TR back again. That was BOC's The Red and the Black for my friend J-Man there. That black and red West Creek guitar that he just got. Anyhow, I have finished upgrading my Floyd Rose and I'm going to talk about upgrading Floyd Rose. This essentially now in this made in China Jackson Budget JS 34 Q guitar. $359 all day long until recent events. Now they're like $459. But that's a different discussion. So basically $400 or $500 guitar that I bought used for $229 and just had at upgrading. And I've talked about this before, but what I'm going to talk about the upgrade today. Today's upgrade was I just upgraded the trem plate and trem posts. So I have been picking away at this, upgrading the trem. And I know you don't need to tell me. I spent more money than just buying a new one because they are selling the 1000s now. The Floyd Rose 1000 used to be an OEM piece of equipment. It was pretty much, as far as design and materials, an exact copy of the original. It's just they made them in Korea. They'd be put on import guitars, lower end models. And that was the idea. But, you know, people like them. And they started selling them recently. So, long story short, it probably about $170 trem. If you were to just buy it outright, and I probably got, you know, $170 worth of parts to $180, you know, into it. So I might just well have bought one, and I know I could have got a Goto one for like 130-ish that some people will say is better. That's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about what I did. So I paid $65 for this hardened steel plate for my Floyd Rose. Now, does it work? Yeah, it works. Hold on. And if that didn't come perfectly back in tune, it's because the strings are brand new. But I think it's in tune. Anyways, Floyd Rose trems, there are different levels. There's 3 basic tiers. There's the special, which is the bottom feeder. There is the 1000, which, as I mentioned, and the original. The original being made in Germany. I think Schaller makes it. Okay, Schaller, however you want to say it. And supposedly the 1000 is identical in material and design. It's just a different country of origin. They are about, you know, $70, $80 less expensive. So for whatever that's worth, I don't know. And the originals are now bringing the manufacturer to the U.S. So whatever that matters to. Anyways, what is in mine? Well, I have a German bar. So this is a Schaller-made German bar, which I have some Floyd Rose 1000s, and I can't tell the difference in the bars. They're identical, so I'll say those are identical. The design is different than the special. I can get into that later for you. My plate, as I said, I just bought was a 1000. The saddles are steel saddles. They're for 1000 series. I have the original springs for the fine tuners, the little metal, because that's pretty much going to be the same regardless. And I left, oh my God, I left the block in. It's a zinc alloy. It's not brass. It's not going to have the magic fairy dust unicorn fart sound shoot up through the guitar. That block is like something to hook the springs to. Counterweight at best, something to hook the springs to. But some reason it transmits great tonal properties to the guitar. I left mine with the one that came in it. These screws back here are aftermarket. They're hardened steel, but they're anodized, so they look pretty. They're purple. They're what I could find. I bought a whole upgrade kit, and then I realized all the stuff I was upgrading, the saddles weren't getting upgraded, and the saddles that come in the specials are made out of zinc alloy, and that's a weak spot, is they can deform over time, and then your strings don't stay in good, you know, after multiple string changes. So the plate, it's fully hardened steel. On a special, they're spot hardened. So the way I understand that is just the area that makes contact with the posts is hardened. I don't know if the specials come with hardened steel posts or not. I didn't take any chances. I paid $18 and put some new hardened steel posts in. I just used the old inserts. This is cool, by the way, because this is, I believe, a basswood. Is it a basswood body? I'll have to look it up and see. But anyways, on some of the softer wood bodies, Floyd Rose, people would have a problem with the posts coming loose or pulling out, so they come up with this little fix. You don't see it on many of them. Some of them you do. It's a metal bar that goes across the top of the posts, like a retainer for the posts, and screws in. I really like that idea. And also, it's a metal plate that the front of your trim sits on, too. So it's very cool. It has that. Anyways, as I said, I wasn't sure about the posts. It's weird. I have a combination of satin and gloss black parts. Why? Well, because the only hardened steel saddles I could get in black at the time were satin. So I ordered this Duncan pickup for it, and it came with a nice pickup ring that had kind of a matte finish to it instead of the shiny one that came on it. And I thought, you know what, I got a theme going here, matte and shiny. I just figured that pickup ring that came with that pickup not only was easier because it was already installed on the ring, but anyway, because it wasn't, I had to put the ring on it. But I just thought it was probably better quality. So when I bought this, the satin posts were almost $5 cheaper than the gloss. I thought, well, I'll just get those. I'll save some money. And then I thought, hey, wait a second. What is the satin plate going to cost? I mean, I can maybe just have it all satin. Satin plate was $5 more than the gloss plate. There's no rhyme or reason, right? So anyways, I have a combination of shiny black parts and matte black parts, and I don't care because I have some purple parts too, and that's fine. So it's essentially a 1000. It's all, but I wanted to show you the trim I took out of here. I was concerned, okay, now special. There's one that says Floyd Rose Special, but then there's the one that says By Floyd Rose. The Firefly guitars are coming with the By Floyd Rose now. There's Jackson By Floyd Rose, Squire By Floyd Rose. I asked myself why. It's painted on. There's plenty of low price, but mid-price guitars that come with a Floyd Special that's stamped Floyd Rose Special. Why is this painted on? Well, doing some research, I found out that Floyd Rose Specials are made in two places. They're made in Korea and they are made in China. So I'm going to guess that since this is a made in China guitar, the Squires with the By Floyd Rose are made in China and the Fireflies are made in China. Get where I'm going here? Yeah. So is it still probably spot hardened steel? Probably. Is spot hardened good enough, especially since I have a trim stopper in mind set for dive only? Probably. But you know, I got nothing better to do, and I have fun fixing things up, and I've done so much to this to make it awesome. I wanted to go all the way. I swapped it. But did I need to? Okay, I'm going to show you a picture of the knife edges on the one I took out of here. I've played this a fair amount. Granted, it's been for down only. I don't know how good it would have floated, but take a look at the knife edges on this. Now, I have people say, oh, look how cheap they are. You can see brass showing through the finish. Okay, not an expert here. Going to go out on a limb. I really think they coat it in brass, then coat it in the chrome, be it black, chrome, whatever, because the brass acts like as a binder. I think it's part of the process. You know, like it gets copper electroplated, and then it gets electroplated with the final, I think. Tell me if I'm wrong, right? Nobody has any problem with telling me when I'm wrong. So anyhow, that's where we're at. I think I'm happy with it. Now that we made it this far, anybody that is interested, at the end I will go over everything I've done to this lowly Jackson guitar. Let's start at the top, because that's what we were taught to do in nursing school with our assessment. Tuners are Jackson branded. I believe they're made by Goto. They did not come on this guitar. They came from a higher end Jackson that I acquired them from. Locking nut is a 1000 series locking nut, because the special series locking nut that came on it did fail. Coming down through, I left the middle and neck pickups that are single coils because I really like the way they sound. They sound good. I'm not changing them. I'm kind of like I don't use them together kind of a guy. I use the bridge for playing my high gain sounds, and I use the neck and middle for playing my clean sounds. I don't blend them. So that's why I like that. I told you all the things I did to the trem. There's noiseless springs and a trem stop in here. The Duncan JB. Output jack is a Switchcraft, I believe, that I put in here. I should take a look and double check that. I'm assuming I replaced it. I'm pretty sure I did. I usually do. These are DiMarzio branded CTS pots. They're low friction. They work really nice. Metal knobs that came off some other guitar that just happened to have a friction fit shaft that would fit the DiMarzio CTS shafts. So, you know, I had them. I didn't buy them. I had them. But generally, the ones that come on it are going to be a different size, different number of splines, different diameter. They won't fit a CTS pot. This switch couldn't put a regular, as the guys like to call it, wafer switch in here. Not deep enough. It's thin guitar here. It's really contoured light, which is why I like it, by the way. It's thin and light. So this is a Shaler switch. This is like a $30 German-made switch. I mentioned the noiseless springs in here, and I have Dunlop strap blocks on it. So this is quite the machine now, and I'm very happy with it. Now, as always, the reason I picked it out of the box, these necks are incredible. It's compound radius with jumbo frets, and that Jackson profile, that's flat, slim, kind of a shredderish feel to it, and the maple board with the black shark fins is just cool. So I'm pretty much done with it. Now, I know I did a rundown of how much money this would have cost if I bought everything, but actually, because I had things out of pocket, I'm under $600 out of pocket with everything I've done to this. And you're not going to spend $600 and get something that plays like this or has this quality. So anyways, and as I said, it's light. I really wish it didn't have this photo quilt top on. I'm assuming it's photo quilt, or maybe it's a paint process. I don't know what they do. It could be a paint. I'm telling you, it's not quilted maple. It's like doll's eyes. It's dead in the light it doesn't move at all. Solid color would have been nicer. Actually, black would be cool. But as they say, it is what it is. And that's my video for today, explaining everything I've done to this, and we'll come up with something for another one later on. You guys take care.